All right, no filter MMA family. This is your boy BJ. What's going on, guys? So tonight I was originally planning on just doing the Elimele McFarlane fight versus Juliana Velasquez, and I'm still gonna do that tonight. But first, I gotta show some love for my boy Tom Mearns. Like I just have to show some love for him. I think I mentioned this once or twice on the channel, but he was severely robbed in the fight with Yassine Belhadj in Cage Warriors last event where he fought. And I feel like so much, Tom is pretty loyal to the channel. You know what I'm saying? And when you've seen him come up short, now he got finished in Cage Warriors once. You know what I'm saying? And one of the fights he got held down and controlled on the ground, but and those were clear cut losses. But the other two has just kind of been like, really close fights, really competitive fights that I feel Tom did more work in. And yet, and still, Cage Warriors just doesn't want to give Tom. It seems like they don't want to give Tom a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom goes out here. Guys, if you don't know the twins that I interviewed from the UK, Tom and Richard Mearns, some of my early interviews was with those guys, man. And you know what I'm saying? They're pretty loyal to No Filter MMA. So, of course, I wanted to do this for Tom, man, just to kind of put it out there that, this kind of shit is going down over at Cage Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Like this sort of thing is going on over at Cage Warriors. Like, it's like referees everywhere recently have been, everybody's been talking about these referees lately across all organizations. It's just like these guys. It's like I feel like they don't know. I feel like they don't know how to quite score MMA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like they don't quite know. What's up, Combo Breaker 99? I feel like they don't really know how to score MMA fights. Like, we've been plagued by judging. And we gotta admit, there's been some pretty squirrely judging across all promotions, 2020 and 2021. Like, I'm sure everybody can agree that the judging has been a little squirrely. Like I said, across all promotions, the big promotions, you see squirrely, judging. Guys, just what you see, all you guys that are watching, it's a 3-round fight, so it's not really going to take me long. And it's really not going to take much explanation to realize that this was a robbery, guys. So this fight is on YouTube, okay? So if you guys have another device, please go to YouTube and type in Tom Mearns versus Yassine Belhadj. Like, just go type that in. It's the first thing that'll come up. Let me know when y'all have got that thing queued up. Let me get this thing shared so those Mearns boys can see this thing. These guys, man. I mean, that it was clear cut. Like, what is going on? Let's see. Let me send it to Richard as well. It's late over in the UK, guys. It's late over there, so for those guys, the time it's a time thing, and I always have to. Whenever I want to talk to those guys, we always have to coordinate the time. I'm used to it by now because I talk to these guys all the time. But I'm gonna give everybody a second to get this thing pulled up. Hey, V Kendra, we're gonna break down this fight real quick. This is my boy Tom Mearns. He's been on the podcast. Him and his brother have been on this podcast for years. They're local fighters over in the UK, fighting for contenders in Cage Wars. But Tom was severely robbed. So if you go to YouTube and type in Tom Mearns versus Yassine Belhadj, we are going to start this round by round breakdown. I mean, and Combo, you're gonna see Combo in this fight, man. You're gonna see how Tom works the jab. You know what I'm saying? I know the jab is your favorite punch, and it's also my favorite punch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very important punch. And then watch how when Yassine Belhadj goes for the tie clinch, how Tom is constantly working. And then the takedowns, man. The takedowns was just, Tom scored at least like 5 or 6 takedowns throughout the course of this fight, man. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, what is going on? All right. So, guys, we are queued up here. We getting ready to start this thing off because, this is very wild. So, let me get to the fight here, guys, on my end. And we're going to cue this thing up. Okay, so I'm here, and I'm getting ready. I'll turn that volume off. There's an ad, so let me get through this ad, and then we're going to start this thing up. And Combo, watch it, dude. Watch this fight, Combo. Okay, so the video just started. They're showing Tom. He's in his corner. Look at this. Dude, Cage Warriors has literally butchered Tom Mearns' record. Look at his record, man. 6-6-0. Look at, just butchered Tom's record. All right, the referee is introducing Yassine Belhadj in the red corner. Let's see here. We're going to get this thing started. That Cage Warriors has butchered Tom Mearns' record, and I cannot wait for him to get out of Cage Warriors. I'll just be glad when he moves on from Cage Warriors, man. Look at Mark Goddard over there. All right. Here we go, guys. Fight is getting ready to start. Let's see. All right. Kevin McDonald, he just clapped his hands. Tom coming forward. Jab. Beautiful jabs by Tom. Nice leg kick by Belhadj. Now, Tom here obviously is the shorter, smaller fighter. Tom with his high guard up, pumping that beautiful jab. Taekwondo versus, actually both Taekwondo. Nice uppercut from Belhadj. Tom closes the distance, gets the takedown. And he has Belhadj in the sitting position with his back up against the cage. Let's see here. Now let's watch Tom work here, guys. Let's literally watch him work. Let's watch Tom work here. Look at this. Tom trying to get control of the legs. Belhadj stands back up. Tom throwing some nice punches in the clinch. Look at the size difference, guys. Belhadj does a nice job of circling off. What does Tom do? Tom gets right back into his boxing range, where he can land that jab with his guard up to guard from anything coming from Belhadj. Nice exchange there. Look at Tom. Every time Belhadj tries to get that clinch, Tom starts throwing nice hooks in the clinch. Look at Tom. Jab, then jab 1-2, and close the distance and going for the takedown. Belhadj swings, he falls, and Tom Mearns regains top position. What do we see here? We see Belhadj trying to find a way to clear his hips and get up. We see Tom pass the half guard here. Tom got his head buried in Yassine Belhadj's neck. Let's see here. Now, one thing about Tom, he's small as far as height. But those Mearns brothers are very thick, very stocky guys. So on top, they're heavy. They're heavy on top. Tom does a good job there of maintaining top position, maintaining the dominant position here. A lot of leg fighting going on. Yeah, yes, Combo. A lot of nice punches from Tom. Absolutely. Tom doing a good job here of just slowing Yassine Belhadj down. This guy is a champion. I'm pretty sure it's Taekwondo. You know what I'm saying? He's a multiple time world champion in Taekwondo. And Tom and Richard are lifelong Taekwondo fighters. You know what I'm saying? So he knew he had to close the distance. Now, the Belhadj gets back up, and what does Tom do? Start pumping the jab. Knees in the clinch by Belhadj. Tom starts throwing those hooks. Nice punches. Look at the nice knee by Belhadj. Tom goes in for the takedown. Single leg, runs the pipe, and down Belhadj goes. Tom regains top position in half guard. He's looking to pass to side control here. So, I mean, that's how many takedowns in round one. How many takedowns so far in round one? 3? I'm counting 3. I got 3 takedowns in round one for Tom with a minute and a half to go. Nice short shots to the body, body, head for Tom. Trying to soften up the body, trying to slow Belhadj down. And Tom knew he would have the advantage here. You know what I'm saying? Because those boys, they're Taekwondo black belts. You know, they're top level Taekwondo fighters, Tom and Richard, but they've developed that ground game. They both have developed that ground game. That's how Richard beat Scott Butters. That's how Tom defeated this guy. I'm telling you, this was a robbery. Tom here threatening. Tom just doing a good job of just neutralizing Belhadj, holding him down. Tom knows he can't work on his back. Tom going for a guillotine choke here. Yeah, pretty back and forth standing up for sure. But Combo, from here on out, I want you to pay attention to Tom's jab. Tom with the submission attempt here, threatening. I think Tom was threatening this guillotine to. No, Tom was going for that guillotine. No, he wasn't threatening for anything. All right, round 1 is over. Now, y'all tell me, who does round 1 go to? Who do y'all think round 1? We're going to do this round by round. Now, watch the highlights that they show. It's just so crazy that these are the highlights that they chose to show. Look at the highlight. They're showing everything that Belhadj landed. Now, that was the takedown from Tom there. Now, look at these exchanges. They're showing everything that Yassine Belhadj did. They showed nothing from what Tom did. The submission attempt, nothing. Now, look at that knee. Look at Tom. He does that every time. Those punches to the face of Belhadj, every time he tries to get that Muay Thai clinch, Tom throws those hooks. Okay, and then they show the other takedown. So they show 2 of the 3 takedowns of Tom's in between rounds. Guys, I'm not going to pause this thing. Oh, you'll see, V. Kendra. Let's keep watching. I'm not going to pause it. I'm going to let it run through because I got to get to that McFarlane. Now, what do we see here? Tom, right, again, in his face. Nice leg kick by Belhadj. Tom goes in for the double leg. Let's see what happens here. Tom dropping levels, trying to get this fight to the ground. Nice slam by Tom Mearns. Tom picked this guy up off his feet and slammed him. Tom passes the half guard. Side control. Knees to the body by Tom Mearns. Beautiful knees to the body by Tom. Knees to the shoulder by Tom. Tom just dominating this fight on the ground, holding this guy down. I mean, the control time is just crazy in this fight. And even if Tom wasn't always going for submissions, the control, this is very similar to how Jillian Robertson fights. You know what I'm saying? Very similar to Jillian Robertson. She'll take you down and she'll just hit you. Look at those knees to the body. She'll just hit you from different spots and just wear on you and try to wear you down. A very grueling style. Nice elbow to the face by Tom. Nice punches to the head by Tom. Tom going for that guillotine again. And Tom ends up on bottom position here. Tom trying to open his guard. Trying to create some space between him and Belhadj. Keeping him close up top, but trying to create space with the hips. Tom trying to open his guard so he can work, trying to push away from Yassine. Yassine doing a good job of grabbing Tom's legs and keeping the guard closed. Tom trying to change it into a single leg, trying to go for the single leg. And Belhadj goes for the guillotine himself. Now, this was a good attempt by Belhadj to get this guillotine finish. He's a taller fighter. Thomas is the shorter fighter. But watch what Tom does here, guys. Look at this beautiful single leg takedown. Look at this trip to the takedown by Tom Mearns. My boy Tom in there working, man. Look at that. Look at Tom in there working, man. Gets the takedown again. Moves up. He's inside control. Yassine's still trying to threaten this guillotine, but he's only got one hand in. Tom gets top position again. Now you're going to see Tom try to work some more of his ground and pound here. I think he does get a couple more shots off. Tom goes for the guillotine again. Now this time I think he used that guillotine to stop Yassine from advancing position when they stood up. So I think he kind of used it to just kind of make him concentrate on that. He gets out of that. There he goes with that clinch. Nice knee, nice elbow by Yassine. Now watch Tom start working. Boom. Watch Tom start working those punches to the face coming out of that clinch. You guys will see. Every time Yassine tried to put him in that Muay Thai clinch, he was landing punches. Nice wizard by Tom Mearns to stop that takedown there. Grueling second round. Nice shoulder strike by Tom. Tom trying to circle out here. Let's see. So the referee breaks him up, puts him back at range. Tom with a nice jab. They both exchange punches there. Nice jab by Tom. Tom stuck with the jab, man. He stuck with the jab. You know what I'm saying? At range, Tom's short, man. He's short. He's stocky. Him and Richard both. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to striking, those boys can strike pretty good. So, you know, Tom's jab was consistent throughout the entire fight. His jab was consistent throughout the entire fight. Round two, how do you guys score round two? So they don't show Tom's submission attempt, but they show Belhadj's submission attempt. Look at Tom with that take, that beautiful trip right there to the single leg. Still showing the highlights here. They're highlighting an unsuccessful submission attempt. They're not showing, I mean, round three has started, guys. We're back. Tom applying the pressure with the jab. Nice jab by Tom. Another nice jab by Tom. Double jab by Tom. Body head by Tom. Nice jab. Nice jab by Tom. Nice punches in the clinch by Tom. Another jab by Tom. Nice knee by Yassine. 2 knees. Tom grabs the leg. See what happens here. I forgot what happens in the third round. He circles Tom back, puts Tom's back on the cage. Let's see what happens here. Tom working to get off this cage, trying to find the right opening. Belhadj backs off. Tom immediately starts throwing. Nice jab. Right back to the jab by Tom. Nice jab. Tom goes in for a takedown again, trying to get this fight back to the ground where he was clearly winning the fight. Nice jab by Tom. Nice jab. They trade jabs here. Tom ducks under the punch, goes for the leg again. Doesn't get it. Presses him up against the cage. Belhadj trying to threaten that guillotine again, while Tom has a hold of the single leg. Let's see what happens here. Tom going hard for that takedown. Nice knee by Belhadj. Tom landing punches in that Muay Thai clinch. Nice elbows by Belhadj. I think this is the round that I felt that Belhadj actually won. Because round 2 was close, man. Round 2, I gave that to Tom. And I think Tom spent most of the second round on top. Then Belhadj had reversed the position and then had him against the cage the rest of the round. But Tom was on top most of the second round with the takedown. I think they get separated here because Belhadj isn't doing anything. He's just standing there, Yeah, he separates him. Mark Goddard separates him, puts him back at distance. Tom leads with the jab. They both trade jabs. Tom with the jab again goes in for the single leg and kind of really neutralizes and keeps Belhadj thinking about that takedown throughout the entire fight. But Belhadj did a good job of, nice jab by Tom. Nice exchange there. Nice uppercut by Belhadj. He did hurt Tom right there with that uppercut. Nice leg kick by Tom Mearns. Nice 1-2 by Belhadj. Jab by Tom Mearns. Nice leg kick by Tom. Another leg kick by Tom. Nice uppercut by Belhadj. Now that uppercut was money for him. That uppercut was money. Nice elbows in the clinch by Belhadj. Knee to the body. Now this round, I would say Belhadj clearly won that round. Tom pulls guard. Belhadj did a good job of not hanging around in Tom's guard. He did a great job of neutralizing the guard of Tom. So I give him that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he neutralized Tom in the guard. You know what I'm saying? Every time Tom was trying to get him in this guard, because him and Tom and Richard are brown belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So those boys know how to fight on the ground. But I feel like rounds 1 and 2, Tom won it. Now, round 3 was a 10-9 round for Belhadj. But rounds 1 and 2, especially round 1, round 1 was a 10-9 round for Tom Mearns. And number 2, I don't know how to score number 2. Number 2 was close, but I feel like a unanimous decision win to Belhadj was a robbery. Like, I feel like that was a robbery. I feel like that was a robbery. What do you guys think? Yeah, combo. Yeah, yes, bro. Yes, I have Tom winning rounds 1 and 2. We have Tom winning rounds 1 and 2. That's what I'm saying. Round 3, he lost that round. I give him that. He got stung in that round with them uppercuts. Yassine landed 2 really good uppercuts. That one they showing them right now, and a couple of good knees to the body. But rounds 1 and 2, man, Tom was in there with the pressure. He was sticking a jab in Belhadj's face every time Belhadj would try to come in with that Muay Thai clinch. Tom was always he would get a couple of knees off, but Tom was always touching him, always hitting him. And then the takedowns, it's like they didn't even score the takedowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they didn't even score that Tom took this guy down at least 4 times. I counted 4 times. And one was a damn suplex. Might as well call it a suplex. So, you know, I'm just really confused, man. And I told Tom that I was confused about it, man. Rounds 1 to Tom, 3 to Yassine, 2 was close. Yeah, 2 was pretty close. Yeah, 2 was pretty close. I don't think robbery. It was close. Yassine was winning the clinch. I don't really know how to score the second round. That second round was close. Yeah, that second round for me. I mean, clearly, Tom won rounds 1. He won round 1. He lost round 3. He clearly won round 1. 2 was a toss. Ain't no way all 3 of them judges scored it for him. And then it was a unanimous decision win. I'm like, man, that's kind of squirrely, man. I mean, maybe I'm biased. But Tom had a lot of control and multiple takedowns in this fight and a consistent jab. Tom was able to put that jab in the taller, longer fighter's face. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom put that jab in his face. Tom made Yassine fight in Tom's range. Tom wasn't fighting at Yassine's range. Yassine was fighting at Tom's range. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and I felt like Tom, for Tom being so much shorter, you know, his limbs are not as long as Yassine's was. Tom was pretty accurate with that jab. You know, I mean, Combo, listen, man, you are the wizard of the jab, bro. Tell me, was Tom's jab not consistent every time they were on their feet? Tom had a pretty consistent jab, which is just surprising to me that how they scored this fight. Let me go. Let me listen to the judges' score. Let me play it. I can play that much. It's an advertisement. I can play that much. Yes, Combo. He used the jab to open up for the takedowns. Tom did an excellent job of that, man. He used that jab. That's how you use a jab.
Going into the tight clinch, burying the knees to the midsection. Well, the judges' scorecards are in, so let's throw it to our MC in the cage, Mr. Hal Chaplin, to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of mixed martial arts action, we go to our judges' scorecards. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 in favor of your winner by way of unanimous decision in the red corner, Yassine Crazy.
So the judges scored it 29-28. Okay. I thought it was like 30-27, but it was 29. I mean, so I guess you can say that was close, but unanimous decision, man. Like, did they not give Tom that first round? They had Tom losing all 3 rounds. That's crazy. They had Tom losing all 3 rounds. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's the craziest shit I ever seen. I'm like, y'all just blatantly robbed, like Cage Warriors. Y'all blatantly robbed Tom Mearns in that fight. Like, y'all, that's fucking crazy. Like, if I was Tom, man, it's been 2 fights. Now listen. Tom got dominated on the ground. The way he dominated that dude on the ground, Tom got dominated on the ground. He clearly lost that fight. It was a couple of fights ago, and then Tom got knocked out as well. But there was another fight. His first fight in Cage Warriors was an extremely close fight. It was one of the fights that he's lost. I think he's lost 4 in Cage Warriors. I think so. Yeah, he's lost 4 in Cage Warriors. So the one dominant one and the one finish, those are legit losses. But there was another one. I have to go look at his record. There was another fight that Tom fought where he clearly won. I think the fight took place on the feet the entire fight. He clearly won the fight, and they robbed him before. And I said something about it to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I said something to him about it. He was just like, whatever, man. We're just going to move forward to the next fight. We're going to go on to the next one, and it is what it is. And then he lost 2. He lost 2 more. He got dominated 1, and then he finished the other one. He got finished the other fight. And then this fight comes on. I'm like, fuck yes, this is going to be a good fight. They're both Taekwondo. This is going to be a nice fight unless Tom decides to take this fight to the ground. That's exactly what Tom did. But while this fight was on the feet, Tom's jab was pretty effective. The only really effective shots that Belhadj got off were the couple of times when they were in the Muay Thai clinch. He did get a couple of those off. And in the 3rd round, which is the round that I gave him, he landed 2 clean uppercuts on Tom. Other than that, you've seen Tom applying the pressure. You've seen Tom moving forward. You've seen Tom with the ground control. You've seen Tom with the takedown defense. With the takedown attempts. You've seen Tom with the cage fighting. You know what I'm saying? It was just Tom did so much more and showed so much more of a well-rounded game in there and utilized many different tools in this fight. He utilized his grappling, his top control, his weight. You know what I'm saying? He utilized his jab. He utilized the leg kick in this fight. You know what I'm saying? His distance control was in there. He forced the bigger, taller guy to fight in his range. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the cleaner, more effective shots throughout rounds 1 and 2 go to Tom Mearns. But, it is what it is. He's got one more fight in Cage Warriors, but I really feel like Tom needs to move away from Cage Warriors. That's just my thoughts. I think Tom needs to move away from Cage Warriors. Like I said, guys, Tom will be on here, but it's late over in the UK. It's like 1 a.m. by now. So, look forward, come back and see some comments from Tom, but absolutely for sure, Cage Warriors robbed him. This was a clear robbery, in my opinion. Yes, round 2 was close, but Tom had takedown in round 2. Tom had a lot of ground control in round 2. A lot of ground control was in round 2. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Some people may see it the other way. It is what it is, guys. But shout out to my boy Tom Mearns for every time going out there and stepping in that cage and giving it everything he's got. You know what I'm saying? A true fucking warrior. You know what I'm saying? I've watched Tom through his career, man. And Tom's taking some tough losses, man. This guy's tough, man. I'm telling you, he had his shot to fight in Bellator, man. He had his fight in Bellator. He gets in there and suffers a freak injury, guys. Go watch it. Type in Tom Mearns Bellator. This guy's arm, when you see his arm break in this fight, man, they fall awkwardly. Somebody tries to take him down and they fall awkwardly and Tom snaps his arm. I'm just dude, what kind of luck is that for Tom? You know what I'm saying? That's the worst luck this guy can have. And that put a stall on his career for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? 2 years he was down. And then he comes back and he's coming back in Cage Warriors, man. And he's working hard, man. And I really feel for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I really feel for the guy because he's got 2 losses on his record that I don't think he should have. You know what I'm saying? I think he's got 2 losses on there that he shouldn't have. So, let's hope this next fight that he has, Tom can get a finish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see him get a finish. I want to see him finish somebody. I want to see him be a savage. He's a powerful striker when he lets his right hand go. Tom is a powerful striker. Him and his brother Richard, you know what I'm saying? Richard is also they're identical twins, but Richard is a short, powerful striker. They're both powerful strikers. You know what I'm saying, with good jabs and good ground, good takedowns. Good top control. They're both really, really good at that. So, let's just hope that things go better for him in his next fight. Shout out to Tom and Richard Mearns over in the UK. But yeah, guys, I'm getting ready to transition over. Guys, come right back. Give me 5 minutes. And it's time to get the Ilima-Lei Macfarlane versus Juliana Velasquez fight. So you might as well go ahead and get it queued up. Because we're getting ready to do the breakdown for Velasquez versus Macfarlane. All right? This is your boy BJ back from No Filter MMA. Drop those comments in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that dislike button. I appreciate you guys coming in on the live stream. But on this next one, we get ready to cook. We get ready to cook. We get ready to cook. We get ready to cook, baby. All right, y'all. I'm going to stop this